Hello, welcome back to RetroBreak. I was very excited yesterday because I went back to my favourite game shop, Vintage Gamer, which actually also turned out to be the first time that I've been game shopping since lockdown. So this set of games I was super excited to pick up. I didn't get much footage from the shop because I thought it might not be appropriate given the situation in the world at the minute to go and film in a shop and expect people to be okay with that. So I only got this little bit of footage that you're seeing now, but if you want to see the shop in more detail, I've done 2 videos about it in the past, and I'll put a link in the description and I'll flash them up at the end of this video as well so you can go and see what the shop's like because it is amazing. So without further ado, let's take a look at all the stuff that I got while I was there, and there is quite a lot. I was very excited to find a lot of these things. So first up we have 2 Need for Speed games on the PS1, and I was a bit confused at first thinking that these were actually 2 of the same game, but they're actually different. So the first one is Porsche Challenge and the second one is Porsche 2000, and it turns out that there was a third version of this just called Need for Speed Porsche, and that only came out in Germany, I think, and this is the European version, so this one came out in the UK and other parts of Europe, I presume, like France and Italy. It doesn't actually say, but I presume that's what happened. And the developers of this version of the game went on to make Test Drive Unlimited on PS2, which is a great game as well. So really happy to have both of them, and I've almost got every game in the Need for Speed series now. So maybe one day I'll do a video about the Need for Speed series, but there are a lot of games to get through. So I was actually even more confused than I thought. It turns out that Porsche Challenge was actually made by a first-party Sony studio called Team Soho. I played a bit of both of the games and I have to say I prefer the handling of Porsche 2000, but it seems like this version, Porsche Challenge, is perhaps the better game overall, but I did enjoy both of them. The next game here is Tony Hawk's 2. It might be a bit surprising, but I've never actually owned an official copy of Tony Hawk's 2. I only ever had it pirated on the Dreamcast, so I'm very happy to get my first ever official version of Tony Hawk's 2, and I was playing it a little bit last night on the PS3 and I'm really enjoying what I've played so far. I love all the Tony Hawk's games and I'm really looking forward to the remake of the first 2. I think that's coming out later this year. The next one here, this is hopefully an interesting DS game. I haven't tried it yet. This is Spore Creatures. I used to love the creature creator in Spore. I got it when it came out on PC, so fingers crossed the DS version is just as fun as that. I don't think it includes the whole Spore game where you sort of start off as a little cell creature and you work your way up through the evolution chain. I think this DS game is literally just the creation element of Spore, which to be honest was my favourite part, so quite looking forward to giving that one a go. Now, next here, another game for my Tetris collection. The box is a little bit battered. This is Magical Tetris Challenge. So I'm going to try and put this in one of the box protectors. It was complete, so it does have the instructions. And of course, the game is also in there as well, so really happy to have this. It wasn't $14.99 like it says up there, it was just a sticker that was on there, so yeah, really looking forward to giving this one a go. And next month, I'm actually going to be doing a whole month of just Tetris related videos. I've got so many interesting, unique Tetris things like this turned up in the post the other day, a little Tetris handheld. And I've also got, I'm not going to give it all away, but I've also got this, which I'll be showing off next week as well, next month as well, so look forward to all that. And I might do a video on Magical Tetris Challenge, the Disney game as well, next month, so definitely look forward to a lot of Tetris content if you enjoy Tetris games. Now this next game here, this was a blast from the past, a nostalgia overload. This is 3D Game Maker, and I spent an ungodly amount of hours playing with this back when I was in school. I actually made a game called Hierarchin, and I would love one day to try and cover some of my game making history because there are a lot of games that I've got backed up on the computer that are really interesting and really terrible as well, but that's part of the fun of seeing where my creativity came from back in the day, and this was one of the things that definitely spurred a big part of my creativity and made me who I am today, so I was very excited to find this. Unfortunately, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to get it to work or not because it is a Windows game from 2001, but I'll try my best and look forward to that. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, maybe game making history or my game making journey or something like that. And it's kind of a shame that I haven't been making games recently anymore because I really do enjoy it, and maybe this has sparked a bit more interest in making games again in the future. And this one is maybe for my Tetris video, I haven't completely decided yet. This is kind of a 3D Tetris clone kind of based on Weltris, which was Alexei Pajitnov's 3D version of Tetris that he came up with. This is called Blockout, and it was made by EA for the Mega Drive. And I presume, because it's an EA game, yes, it comes on a nice big EA cartridge. So I'm looking forward to giving this one a go. It should be interesting, but I'm expecting the frame rate to be horrible, so definitely interested to give this one a go soon. Now, we've got 3 GameCube games here. 2 of them I used to have, but I got a bit excited when I found out what eBay was back in about 2003 or something, and I actually sold a lot of my GameCube collection, so I'm very slowly getting it all back. The first one here is Serious Sam Next Encounter, and this is a really fun arcade-style first-person shooting game. I do really love the Serious Sam games, and I think this was one of the first ones, so I'm definitely looking forward to giving this one a go and seeing if it lives up to my memories, because I did really enjoy this one back in the day. Now, next is an EA Big game, EA Sports Big, of course, the people that made the SSX series, which I fell in love with back then. This one is called Freak Style, and it's basically SSX on BMX bikes. So I'm definitely looking forward to giving this one a go. I did also really enjoy this one back in the day as well. And it looks like there's an old receipt in there, so let's have a look at when they bought this. So they bought it in Stourbridge back in... where does it say the date there? Oh, it's not the original receipt. This is from 2013, and they paid a grand total of £1.50 for it. Unfortunately, it's not the original receipt like I was hoping for, but even so, definitely looking forward to giving Freak Style a go, see whether that lives up to my memories of it as well. And the last one I got here, this is one that I've not played before, and I've heard kind of mixed opinions about it, but it's definitely one of the less common games on the GameCube. This is called Zappo. I presume it's something like Frogger. I've never actually played this one. I will play it and put a little bit of video over this so you can see what it's like. But yeah, definitely looking forward to giving it a go. It's always nice to find these sort of 3D platformers with failed mascot characters, and I'm sure maybe some of you remember Zappo fondly, but I'm sure he's been lost to time these days. So definitely looking forward to giving that one a go. Now this next thing is really cool. This is a collector's edition of Driver San Francisco for the PS3. And originally I didn't actually see this. I have my friend Jack to thank for that. Originally I just saw the game up on the shelf, and then he said when we were looking behind the counter that there's actually a special edition of it. So let's have a look and see what this looks like. So that's pretty cool. I won't adjust the focus because it's hard to get it back in focus, so I'll do some close-ups after. So there's this display of the car here, and then you lift the top off, and underneath there is a fold-out map and a little art book / comic book under there as well. So it's quite a big map, as you can see. So it's got a map of San Francisco on that side with all of the interesting points of reference from the game. And I'm actually really looking forward to giving this game a play as well, because I've heard it's quite good. And then on the other side we have a nice big Driver San Francisco poster as well. So I was really happy to get this, and they did it for only 25 quid, which I think is pretty reasonable. And I'll give you a quick look at this little comic book that came in there as well. So part of it's just a standard comic. I presume it's the plot from the game. And then towards the back you have a bit of concept art, which I always like to see as well.
Can I take it from your exuberant driving you'll be putting down a deposit? Still thinking about it. Sir, I don't think our insurers cover this kind of behavior.
And of course, what shopping trip of mine would be complete without some Game Boy pickups? So I picked up 3 games for the original Game Boy. They are just some UKV ones from my collection, so nothing too exciting. Quarterback, NFL Club. We have Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which was actually fairly pricey, so I hope that game's okay. I'll do a little bit of video over it. And the main one that I was very excited to find, this was in a big box of Game Boy games under the counter. This is one of the Daytime games. If you remember we talking about it a few episodes ago, I'm trying to get all of these. They were basically unlicensed games that were advertised in my favourite gaming magazine called Action GBX. And this game here was actually coded by my friend Quang from Asobi Tech. So really excited to get this one. And talking about Quang, I've got something that I'm going to show in the next episode as well, so look forward to that. But yeah, really excited to get ATV racing. I'm really looking forward to seeing what that's like. And to finish up this set of games that I picked up yesterday are 3 Game Boy Advance games that I also found in a random box. So there's Rayman Raving Rabbids. I didn't actually know this even had a Game Boy Advance port, so I'm definitely interested to see what this is like. I really don't know whether it's a minigame collection or whether it's a platformer like the other Rayman GBA games. So before we move on to the next game, I just have to jump in here and say how impressed I was by Raving Rabbids for the GBA. It turned out to actually be a really good 2D platformer, and surprisingly I just read this online, it actually uses graphics from the unreleased prototype of Rayman 4, which is really fascinating to me, so maybe I'll make another bigger video about this game in the future, because I would definitely like to play more of it. There's also R-Type 3, which I was quite interested to find. I didn't even know this game existed on the GBA, and I played it a little bit last night, and the gameplay does seem really good, but for some reason the sound effects don't sound very good at all. But definitely really interested to give it a go, because I do like the arcade R-Type games. And the last game for this video, and the last pickup from Vintage Gamer, is Lilo and Stitch for the Game Boy Advance, and I've heard really good things about this game. Considering it's just a licensed game, it's actually a really good run and gun shooter, kind of like the Metal Slug series, so that's really interesting. And I played it again last night like I did with some of the other games, and I really enjoyed my time with it, so definitely recommend that one. So there we go, that was my pickups from Vintage Gamer. I was so happy to be able to go back after so long. Of course I wore my mask in there the whole time, and so did everyone else that came into the shop, which was really great to see. So thank you all so much for watching. I have another set of pickups to show you next week, and then like I said, next month is all Tetris, all month long, and I'm hoping to do more than just 4 videos for the month. So I really hope you're looking forward to that. So thank you all so much for watching. A big hello to all my new subscribers. I know a lot of people have joined the channel recently, so thank you for that, and I'll see you next week for the next video. Goodbye!